actually take care of it as regularly as we can.
One of the biggest issues they did find in dry dock, an invasive species. Nearly 3 tons of quagga and zebra mussels had attached to the hull.
We actually had inspecting underwater in the river to be able to see how much mussel growth there was, and it was inches thick. And so we knew there was 100% mussel coverage, so we couldn't tell the condition of the hull.
Casey Lautenbach, the project manager at Fincantieri Bay Shipbuilding, says working on the cobia is a meaningful project.
I remember going back in 5th grade down and visiting the vessel and thinking it was so cool. And when I went back last June to do it, it was that giddiness then of a kid being able to walk through it.
Now he's looking forward to sharing that experience with his son.
I'm going down to the museum with my son in December for a field trip for school. So it'll be a lot of fun to go down and see it back there, fresh coat, and be able to take kids on it again and relive that.
The work being done here to preserve the sub cost $1.5 million, funded through grants and community donations.
The Wisconsin Maritime Museum says once the USS Cobia is back in Manitowoc, it will only be a few days before you can step aboard the newly renovated historic landmark. In Sturgeon Bay, Hannah Lopez, NBC 26.
Hannah, thank you. In Green Bay, a former school board member is facing criminal charges. Court records show Koo Lee is facing counts of election fraud and false swearing, both felonies. Lee resigned in May after community members questioned if he lived inside district borders, which is required of a board member. Lee was elected to his school board seat in April of 2024. He's due for an initial court appearance in November. Well, the Packers are out of town this weekend, but Lambeau Field will still be busy. That's because tomorrow, people from around the world will gather to honor the hundreds of first responders who were killed on 9/11.
I'm your Green Bay neighborhood reporter, Jessica Goska, at Lambeau Field, where Saturday morning, more than 2,000 people will take part in a stair climb to remember the fallen first responders of 9/11. In honor of the 343 first responders who lost their lives in the September 11th attack, people from around the world will take part in Green Bay's 13th annual Remembrance Climb Saturday. They'll scale the equivalent of 110 floors, symbolizing the height of each twin tower.
We really focus on the remembrance. Each step you're climbing is for a firefighter, and each step you make is in remembrance of those individuals that gave their life.
Those unable to complete the full climb can participate in part or opt to spectate the event. Climbers can still register for the event ahead of the 9 a.m. start time Saturday. In Green Bay, Jessica Goska, NBC 26.
Earlier this month, a crash here at this intersection took one life and changed another forever. I'm your Oshkosh neighborhood reporter, Claire Peterson, learning more about the 14-year-old boy who's still recovering from his injuries and his community that has his back.
This is the day he was born.
Looking at pictures of Tanya Schmidt's son, Carter,
This is all four of the boys.
you see a normal teenager.
He's just got the biggest heart.
But on September 7th, his life turned upside down.
And I said, okay, how bad is it? And he said, it's bad, Tanya. I said, but how bad?
Carter was riding in his dad's truck when a motorcycle hit the passenger side where he was sitting. He was taken to Theta Care before being airlifted to Milwaukee.
You could not recognize him at Theta. Like his whole face was covered in blood, the whole down his neck, the hair, all of it.
Among other injuries, Carter had broken ribs, a collapsed lung, and a shattered spleen.
Looking at him, like, it was the worst feeling. Just to know that, like, you don't know if they're going to make it to 30 minutes.
While Carter continues to recover in the ICU, his community has stepped up.
I just think that's normal Wisconsin people.
Carter worked at Cattail's Supper Club in Larson for less than a week. But when the owner, Kathy Davey, heard of the accident, she didn't hesitate to help.
So even though he was only with us 2 days, once you're here, you're part of our work family.
Cattail's is donating 20% of this month's gift card sales, and they're collecting cash for the family.
We know Carter has a very long road of recovery.
And it didn't take long for other businesses to follow suit.
Anything that we can do to help, we will do.
Schmalz Landscaping in Appleton is one of 9 companies matching donations up to $500.
You know, it could have been our kid.
It's support that Tanya wasn't expecting.
It's been huge.
But overall, she says she hopes Carter's story reminds people to always choose kindness.
All of our choices have an outcome. Just choose wisely.
The Schmidt family also has a GoFundMe if you'd like to donate that way. And Cattails is looking for more businesses to offer matching donations. All that info can be found on NBC26.com. In Oshkosh, I'm Claire Peterson, NBC 26.
This is an honor and kind of unexpected, very frankly.
Tonight, Appleton North High School is bringing back their Hall of Fame. That means some local legends will finally be honored for their contributions. Noah Cornelius joins me with that story next.
You're watching NBC 26, part of the Scripps News Group.
We're back at Appleton North High School, the site of our showdown game of the week that you can watch on TV 32 at 7 o'clock. Joining me now is our Appleton neighborhood reporter, Noah Cornelius. And Noah, this is a big game. We got something big happening at halftime tonight.
Yeah, here's a fun fact I learned about Appleton North. They didn't have an active Hall of Fame for a long time, and they also didn't have an induction ceremony. So many of their legendary players actually went to the wayside. But tonight, the school's legends are finally getting their flowers.
Some days are good days and other days are tough days, but just keep working.
In the Fox Cities, Paul Engen's name is etched in history.
Well, it's an honor. It really is.
Engen's career spans 6 decades, and he was inducted into the State Hall of Fame in 1998.
This is an honor and kind of unexpected, very frankly.
The school even named their football field after him, but for Appleton North, that wasn't enough. I spoke with Appleton North's principal, Nate Werner. He tells me Appleton North's Hall of Fame induction ceremony had gone idle for a few years. But now that ceremony returns during halftime of tonight's game against Hortonville. And Engen will be joined by other Lightning legends, like boys and girls soccer head coach Sarah Hagan.
You know, I never had this on my, bingo card, so to speak.
After a sterling career at North, where she was a 3-time All-State honoree, Hagan went on to win a championship in the UWSL, the highest level of women's soccer in the U.S. But even after all of that, Hagan is just humbled to be a part of her school's history.
To be honest, I didn't know that there was one, and to get the call up, especially being inducted alongside Coach Paul Engen, who was here when I was here, that's a great honor.
The more I learn about these two being inducted and everybody else being inducted, I can't imagine how their friends and family must feel being up in those stands watching it happen.
Such a long time coming, and truly an honor for them, for sure.
Oh, truly, truly an honor.
Thank you so much for that information, Noah. All right, and don't forget, you can watch this game if you can't make it out here tonight to Appleton North High School on TV 32. Ted Stefaniak and John Mino will be on the call, and Noah, of course, will be live at halftime. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. And so far, so good with this weather. It has been a beautiful evening, a little bit of breeze just where you want it in Cam. Hopefully it'll hold out for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I think most of us will be spared rain this evening, but that's not going to be the case for this final weekend of summer. Your 7-day forecast is next.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland, featuring the 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by your Wisconsin Chevy Super Dealers.
All right, Hortonville and Appleton North now warming up on the football field. Of course, we're talking about the Polar Bears and the Lightning. I don't think we have to worry about polar bears tonight here in Northeast Wisconsin, but there's probably going to be some lightning later on. And I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan of mascots that involve weather. So, yeah, Appleton North Lightning. Might have to get a T-shirt. I don't know. Should have got a Kiwanee Storm T-shirt while I was there last week. All right, let's take a look at what's going on right now across Northeast Wisconsin. Sky conditions today have ranged from mostly cloudy to mostly sunny. Right now, here on the north side of Appleton, I would call it mostly cloudy. Temperatures range from the mid-60s north to the lower 70s from the Fox Valley south and west. It was cooler where we had more clouds and also near Lake Michigan and the Bay with a very gusty northeast wind, which you can really feel tonight here at the football field. 73 is the current temperature, at least at the airport on the west side of town. In Green Bay, it's 68. The dew point is 64, so you can feel just a little bit of humidity in the air as well. And that humidity helping to kick off some thunderstorms. But thankfully, as you take a look at Lightning Track 26, you can see those thunderstorms that developed across central Wisconsin during the late afternoon are actually pushing north and west away from the NBC 26 viewing area. The radar shows the exact same thing. Thunderstorms now spreading into Stevens Point and Wisconsin Rapids. That's a direction that we typically don't see, but it's wrapping around our next weather maker, which is going to just slowly work across the state over the next, let's say, 3 or 4 days, giving us on and off chances for some rain. So yeah, the final weekend of summer is going to be wet. The rain totals could be impressive too as we get through tomorrow and then possibly late Sunday and Monday. And that rain could be produced by thunderstorms. Severe weather is not expected tomorrow, but thunderstorms are. The forecast as far as temperatures are concerned, thanks to a lot of clouds, calls for upper 60s to lower 70s. Some of us were close to 80 today, but with more clouds, even spots that were near 80 this afternoon will be about 5 to 10 degrees cooler. The high-res future radar shows waves of showers and thunderstorms moving north and east across the viewing area throughout the day tomorrow and into tomorrow night. But this